What's up, Wolverines? I'm Enzo Valdez.
And I'm Oliver Flores. Welcome to this edition of WBLN.
Last Saturday and Sunday, Belen's team exhibited at the 11th Annual Miami Maker Fair in the Watsco Center at the University of Miami. We showed several projects that the program has been working on. The highlight of our exhibit was Noah Levy's booth, Noah Works, that exhibited 3D printing. He won the Maker of Merit Award for the second year running.
Jose Pandienda, the Spanish language known as La Voz of the Miami Heat, enters his 31st year as a Spanish language radio play-by-play announcer, broadcasting all Heat regular season and postseason games. Matias Merle sat down with a class of 82 member, and here's his report.
Have you ever listened to a Miami Heat game on the radio and wondered, who is that guy speaking? If that is you, I present to you Jose Pandienda, more commonly known as La Voz del Miami Heat. We asked him, how was he able to come across the job of being the Spanish radio broadcaster for the Heat?
Actually, it was a little bit of luck. When I came out of college, I had a degree in business and marketing, and I thought I was going to be an advertising executive or work for a corporation and maybe do commercials. That's what I really like to do, advertising. And I had the opportunity to get into the Miami Heat. The first year I was in sales and I was selling season tickets, and I was a top season ticket salesperson. And during that first year, I would see the broadcasters of the team come in, and they would come in and basically come in on the 1st and the 15th, which was back then the days that they gave your checks. Now there's direct deposit, but back then you had to come in and get a hard check. And I saw them, and I liked what they did. I participated the first year that we broadcast Spanish, which was day one in 1988 when the Heat started. I participated in the broadcast from time to time because obviously I was a Spanish-speaking person that knew a little bit about the Heat. And then the second year, the person that was doing it that first year couldn't travel, and I applied for the job. It was a long process. It wasn't easy. I applied for the job. I went to Radio Shack, and I got a little tape recorder, and I sat at a preseason game in Boca Raton when the Heat played the then Washington Bullets, and I turned in the audio, and here I am, 35 years later, and 3 championships and trips to the White House and meeting presidents, and it's been an incredible ride.
There have been many memorable moments in Heat history, like the Ray Allen 3 or Dwayne Wade's iconic alley-oop to LeBron, but for Jose, one stands above the rest.
Well, I think that the most memorable moment is going to be the first time we won a championship, and that was June 20th, 2006, when we were in Dallas, and the Dallas Mavericks had Jason Terry at the time, and he took a shot, he missed. Dwayne Wade grabs the rebound and throws it up in the air to make sure the time expired, and we won the championship, and you're pinching yourself, and here you are, as a little kid growing up, you always watched championships and parades, and how players were, putting champagne on themselves in the locker room, and I had that chance, and so that day has to be the most memorable day in Heat history. We've had many others, but because that was our first championship, we've had 2 others since, but since that was our first championship, I would say that that's definitely the most memorable moment that I've had and probably will ever have in my career with the Miami Heat.
As a member of the Belen Jesuit class of 1982, we asked Jose to reminisce on his time at school and what was that he cherished most from his time at Belen.
Well, there's so many. I was Belen from 7th grade. Back then there was only 7th through 12th. And actually I was in the first class that graduated from the new school. So my first 5 years were at the school on 8th Street and 7th Avenue, and we didn't have any grass basically at that facility. So everything we had to do somewhere else. The baseball team practiced in Key Biscayne, the track team and cross country also in Key Biscayne. I believe that the football team practiced at Crowway Elementary School. So the basketball team basically practiced out in outdoor courts, on the cement. So things have changed drastically. But I would say that my classmates and the unity, and especially when I was in the baseball team, your classmates are going to be very, very close to you for the rest of your life. But when you're in a sport as well, those are even closer to you. And to this day, my best friends are those that I played baseball with, and that we traveled with on the baseball team, and had pretty good success as well.
Although he graduated from Belen 42 years ago, all the lessons he learned there still influences him in both his professional and personal life.
Well, I think that it all started at home with my parents, you know, and it was reinforced by everything that you have at Belen, the culture, the spirituality at Belen as well, the discipline that you had at Belen. We had a very disciplined, I should say, a disciplinarian, Father Izquierdo, who's in the Belen Hall of Fame, and he'll be also in the Arroyo Garden, and he was very fair, strict but fair, and you learned what right and wrong was. But again, it all starts at the home and reinforced at the school, and I think that's what Belen gave us. And then just like interesting as the heat that we call it, this incredible culture that we have. I think that Belen has a great culture, a great brotherhood. Meant for others, as we know, as you know, is our motto. And it doesn't matter, I might not see you, my classmate in 2 or 3 years, but I see him one day and it's like it was yesterday.
Ultimately, we asked Jose, after having achieved so much success in his career, what is it that makes him come back game after game and year after year?
Well, again, like anything that you do in life, and I use this as an example when I speak to students, is that you need to do something that you love, something that you're passionate about, something that when you get up every morning says, I want to go and do it. So this morning when I got up, first of all, it was exciting because I knew I had a lot of projects going on, including my interview with you, but also that we're facing the Washington Wizards after losing 2 games, preparing for that game, and every game is emotional. Every game is unscripted. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if we're going to win. You don't know if we're going to lose. You don't know if it's going to be a last-second shot. So I also have a job that a lot of people would like, I would assume, and it's been great. So I travel with the team as well. So it's really enjoyable. And because I was born and raised in Miami as well, and went to school in Miami, all my classmates, all my friends are also Heat fans, and they're always calling me, and they're always happy, obviously, when the Heat wins, and they always ask me about it, and I have to accept that when the Heat wins, they say your team, and when the Heat's losing, they say, hey, what's wrong with your team? So I always accept that, but it's been a wonderful, wonderful ride, like I said, and hopefully it continues as well.
So next time you hear La Voz, remember Jose Pañeda, class of 1982. This is Matias Murde reporting for WBLN.
Federal law enforcement is on alert for any potential threats to the U.S. Jewish community ahead of the start of Passover on Monday. Speaking to a group of nationwide security officials Wednesday, FBI Director Christopher Wray said the FBI remains concerned lone actors could target large gatherings, high-profile events, or symbolic or religious locations. For violence, Wray warned the FBI has observed homegrown violence, a surge in hoax threats against Jewish facilities, and a range of threats from abroad.
A new poll found young Americans' confidence in public institutions are at their lowest levels since at least 2015. The Harvard IOP Youth Poll asked 18 to 29-year-olds if they trusted different U.S. institutions to do the right thing. According to the results, just 36% trust the military to do the right thing most or all the time. That dropped to 24% for the Supreme Court, 20% for the president, 17% for the federal, and 10% for the media. 9% for Wall Street. Meanwhile, in a potential rematch between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, 50% of the respondents say that they backed Biden. 37% backed Trump, and the rest were unsure.
What's up, Wolverines? I'm Javier Fernandez, and here are your sports for today. Belen Jesuit lacrosse took on Archbishop McCarthy yesterday in the district final. The Wolverines fell to a 1-0 lead early, but then stormed ahead and finished with a win, 13-4. The Wolverines move on to regionals. The leading scorers were Jaco Suegra and Ralphie Antun with 2 goals each. The Wolverines volleyball team took on Palmetto yesterday and lost 3-0. They have a 15-3 record and look to bounce back as they have 2 games today. They have games against Bishop Moore and Lake Howell at 4:30 and 5:30 p.m. today. Let's show out to support our Wolverines. Now on to the NBA. The Heat lost last night in the play-in against Philadelphia 105-104 after holding a 12-point lead at half. Unfortunately, news has just been released that Jimmy Butler will be out for a few weeks with a right MCL injury. The Heat will play the Bulls for the 8th seed and a chance to play the Celtics in the first round. Nike is facing backlash over one of its new outfit designs for the U.S. women's track and field Olympic team. Nike recently released these images of the outfits ahead of the 2024 Paris Olympics. The women's leotard, with its high-cut bikini line, quickly triggered a wave of criticism on social media. Nike issued a statement saying the leotard design is one of the many styles to choose from, and tailoring options will be available. A spokesperson for USA Track and Field confirmed the collection policies, 50 unique pieces, and said that they consulted with athletes throughout the design process to ensure they are comfortable. Now back to the guys at the desk.
That's all for your news today. Remember to follow us on all social medias and stay safe.
Stay golden, Wolverines.